changing locations and shit. Man, get into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way I made. Sacrificing time for this shit. Man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago. They ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool. I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace. I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend. We should try again. You've been on my mind. You should hop in. I ain't gonna hurt you, baby girl. You know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I get the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I.
Henny the Moore reporting live from the liquor store, man. And when all three of us come together, man, it's Cowboys Uncut.
Scottis.
West Coast Cowboy in the middle, the Kanye West of this content stuff.
And I'm a day one type of girl. Ain't nothing wishy-washy over here. I don't jump around, stick to one side. Yeah, the silver, the blue, we got them in their feelings. That star on the field, come pay the D a visit. They say it's hatred, is it? I call it hate and simping. Cause if we wasn't that hating, they wouldn't be in our business. Listen, West Coast say the water tastes better. The fan base go harder, and all the ladies get wetter. Yeah, that's how it is when you straight reppin' for Dallas. We get it in the trap, and landlord tell us what's happening. No explanations in no shape, form, or fashion. When Henny drop the stats, ain't nothing else to be asking. Them numbers don't lie, that's why your argument dry. And we still got them rings, you got your eyes on our prize. Whether an eagle, a giant, or a commando, you in the parking lot crying, we in the Lambo. We stay in our bag, we run it up in the draft. You still talking about the 90s, so who's stuck in the past? Get off me, and I'ma need you 6 feet back. And we ain't hearing nothing till your team beat that. And we ain't scared of running. So one team over here is Cowboys, the leaders. Yeah, this you got is a poet. Big up West Coast Cowboys, HTM Sports, and Landlord from Alabama. Y'all check them boys out, man. Don't play around with the Cowboys content. Yeah, and you know it's DC. Yeah, DC4L. All day. Every day.
My dear Aunt Sally, we is at the P right now. We gotta go to free agency, then we gotta go to draft, then we can talk about training camp.
And Stephen Jones, who's also a multi-millionaire, moves and feels like a what? Like a dude that is got $15 in his bank account.
We finna come marching to Dallas with our picket signs, ticket torches, everything we can find.
And we are live. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, Henny the Moore, reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing? And listen, I know it's early. I know y'all probably ain't expect to see your boy Henny, at 6 o'clock in the morning, going live, talking Dallas Cowboys football. But listen, truth be told, I was up anyway. I had some stuff to do this morning. And a lot of stuff didn't happen since I closed my eyes. I woke up to Cowboys news, and I just want to give y'all my thoughts on it. So I woke up at about 5 o'clock. I woke up about 5, and I saw the Dallas Cowboys had signed a running back. And then I went and ran an errand, came back home, and I see that there was news on Cooper Kupp. Now, it's not official with Cooper Kupp yet, but, we're going to talk about everything that's going on. So we're just going to talk about these moves that are coming in, some Dallas Cowboys all-season conversations, man. We're going to have ourselves a good time in the liquor store. Hey, what's up with you, Dwayne Brown? Thanks for tapping in. But matter of fact, let me set the mood, man. I ain't got no elevator music playing. Y'all know y'all come to the liquor store for the elevator music, man. All right. So yeah, man, we're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. How I feel about Miles Sanders, if I trust anything about this Cooper Kupp stuff that Adam Schefter's talking about, and we'll talk about all this other stuff. Yeah, can I turn my volume up a little? Sure, I should be able to. Let me check. And if not, we're going to thug it out. But let me see. And if not, I'll just talk louder. I think this might be as loud as this might go. So y'all forgive me if I'm a little low. I'll speak up, and so y'all can better hear me. So let's just talk about what actually happened so far, man. Let's just talk about what actually happened so far. Said the Cowboys were great back in '95. Shit, they still great. They ain't won no championship, but they're still a winning team, you know. So hey, it is what it is. So hold on. All right. So while we were sleeping, the Dallas Cowboys penned a 1-year deal with former 1,200-yard rushing running back Miles Sanders. Now, for the last 2 seasons, Miles Sanders has been riding away over there in Carolina with the Panthers. Now, I'm not going to sit here and sell you a dream or sell you a lie. The man that ran for 1,200 yards is probably gone, right? Because we did not see that same Miles Sanders when he was with the Panthers. But what he is, though, is a veteran running back that has not got a lot of carries the last 2 years. Like last year, if I'm not mistaken, Miles Sanders only got 55 carries. So I'm not willing to say that he's washed just yet, but I will say that he is a better option to have on your team than what you already had. I trust Miles Sanders more than I trust Deuce Vaughn. I trust Miles Sanders more than I trust Malik Davis. And you also got to think about the situation over there with the personnel in Carolina. Offensive line wasn't really great. Even with the woes over here in Dallas, the offensive line is better. Like, say what you want about the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. They graded out top 7 in run block win rate. They graded out top 7 in pass pro. Now, some of that is a little skewed because we had all those holding penalties and everything else. But I think Miles Sanders can bring you something. I'm not saying that he should be running back 1, week 1. I prefer to get a young guy out of the draft for that. But I think Miles Sanders is a great depth signing. My boy Dwayne said, let's hope this signing ain't another running back by committee. I like the signing, but we need a every down back. I agree with you. Because listen, no matter what the Dallas Cowboys do in the offseason, if they sign Miles Sanders, they could have signed Nick Chubb, they could have signed anybody. There's no free agent running back that should prevent the Dallas Cowboys from drafting a running back in this draft. There's not a singular running back that should prevent the Dallas Cowboys from drafting a running back in this year's draft class. It's way too loaded. There's way too much talent. And even if you don't get somebody in the first round, let's say that Genty ends up going, let's say that Genty ends up going to the Raiders or the Bears or somebody. Let's say that Amarian Hampton goes higher than expected somehow. He sneaks into the top 11, right? And then let's say we use that first round pick on a wide receiver or defense, whatever we use it for. We still got options in the second round. There's still the Quinshon Judkins of the world. There's still Caleb Johnson. There's still a lot of running backs I would not mind the Dallas Cowboys adding and making the primary back for the Dallas Cowboys. So Miles Sanders, I think, is going to be a good depth signing. I think he brings a veteran presence. He's played in some big playoff games. He's played in the Super Bowl. But we should not be done, right? We should not be done in our player acquisition at the running back spot. Also, just to be frank with you, I know that I already know prerequisites to this statement by letting you know that the Panthers weren't very good. But this man averaged under 4 yards a carry the last 2 years. He averaged 3.3 in 2023, and I think he averaged 3.7 this year. So, if y'all was mad at Zeke and y'all was mad at everybody else, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad at Miles Sanders. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Miles Sanders is enough. What's up with you, Sports Junkie? That's my boy sliding in, man. Sports Junkie, we're gonna have to do a show soon, bro. I know we be in the chat box with it, but we're gonna have to do a show together soon, man. But y'all make sure y'all go support my boy, the Sports Junkie. Sub up to his page, man. Go give him a like, go give him a follow. My boy be dropping some good content over there, man. So y'all make sure you show the Sports Junkie some love out there, man. So what are y'all thoughts on Miles Sanders before I talk about this stuff, man? On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you like the Miles Sanders signing? 1 is, it's some old bullshit. It didn't move the needle. all the way up to 10, this is life changing. I'm about at a 4. I think it's a very good, I think it's a very good depth signing, veteran present. It is what it is, man. Oh Lord, we got the Diddler. The Diddler has escaped and is in the chat box. I am not reading any of those comments. I'm not reading any of those comments, but yeah, we gonna have to shoot cuz. Shout out to Jeff. All right, Jeff said a 5. Dwayne said a 6. Greg said a 5. Calvin Jefferson said a 3.2. Okay, so I think we all in agreement. I don't think anybody thinks it's a huge needle moving thing. But I think everybody can see the vision. I think everybody can appreciate having a veteran running back on here. My boy Mike said a 5. Unknown, thank you Unknown for assassinating the Diddler. He said it scares me. Might not draft one now, knowing Jerry. Listen, if that's the case, and I'm gonna take him off the screen real quick, because that's always the concern when the Dallas Cowboys sign any free agents. That's always the concern. That's also my concern with signing a Cooper Kupp. That's also my concern with signing a Keenan Allen. That's also my concern with signing a Stephon Diggs or an Amari Cooper. I don't want the Dallas Cowboys to neglect weapons in the first 2 rounds, and I don't want them to neglect running back in the first 2 rounds. Because even if you sign a veteran, even if you bring in, a guy that's played, I still think your team is not good enough for that to be the only signings that you make. I still feel if you sign Cooper Kupp, if McMillan falls to you, you have to make that draft pick. If you're in position to get Luther Burden, you should make that draft pick. If you because you already added Sanders. If Genty somehow falls to you, that has to be the draft pick. If Amari and Hampton is in striking distance, that should be the draft pick. None of the free agents that you sign are needle movers to the point where you then neglect their position in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Said long as he runs crazy against the Eagles. That would be a good revenge game. Hey, shout out to my boy Patrick Green for the Cash App, man. I appreciate you for showing love and supporting. I do appreciate you. If anybody want to support the channel, we're still under YouTube Rico. I'm trying to get that situated. I might have to go back and delete some old videos, delete some contents, and reapply. But right now, we're not getting paid in the liquor store for any of these videos. So if you want to support the channel and help keep the lights on, help make it palatable for me to do content on a regular basis, hit the Cash App. It's $ Henny the More. Anything you're seeing goes a long way in helping your boy out to continue to produce content and continue to do the things that we love, man. So I appreciate y'all in advance and thank y'all for everything that y'all do in the liquor store, man. But let's see. My boy CEO Tone, we will still draft a young running back for the long haul with 2 backs on 1-year deals. I mean, you gotta hope that's the case. You got to hope that's the case. Because that's common sense, right? But what we do understand about Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, common sense is not coming. So that's why we be concerned when they make moves, because they're hard-headed. They do not do things in the conventional fashion. So we don't want them to screw this up. This is one of the deepest running back classes in years. You got to do it. And this is the highest that you picked in a draft in quite some time. It would be a shame. Shout out to Shane Luna for the Cash App, man. I appreciate you for the support. That's Trill right there, man. Thank you for the love by hitting me with the Cash App, man. You're 100 for that. Extra Trill for that. I appreciate you. He said, go Cowboys for life. What's up with you, Jeff? What's up with you? So, man, let's talk about this Cooper Kupp stuff, man. And listen, I'm a prerequisite this. I will believe it when I see it. I don't care who reports on it. I don't care if they reported that they have interest. I don't care if they none of that. Until he signs his name on the dotted line, I'm not believing shit. Right? So take all of this with a grain of salt. right? Take all of it with a grain of salt. But it's being reported by Adam Schefter, who is the most, listen, shout out to Mr. Brown for the Cash App, man. Thank you for the love and support. I appreciate you for rocking with me early on this Friday morning. Thank you for helping keep the lights on in the liquor store. You always been showing love and showing out, man. So I appreciate you for that, my boy. Also, so Adam Schefter is probably the person that I believe the most with this. And I'm still taking it with a grain of salt because I know the Cowboys. So he said developing a sleeper team that has emerged and is now making a push to sign former Rams free agent wide receiver Cooper Kupp is the Dallas Cowboys per league sources. Kupp's decision on where to sign could come as early as today. So we'll know soon. I don't know if that news breaks while we're on the podcast because we're going extra early, right? I don't know if he even chooses the Dallas Cowboys. They might make him a bullshit offer and he says no, right? He said, my profile is my adorable puppy. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. He said, Jerry is doing a good job, sincerely from an Eagles fan. Kupp going to be 32 years old. But, hey, Kupp be rounding some shit up, though, man. Listen, I was skeptical like y'all. Like, I'm a stat dude, so I look at stats and stuff, and they like, oh, he don't make that much separation no more. He did this and did that. Man, me and landlord sat down. We looked at this man tape. We looked at all his 20-yard catches. There are quite a few, actually. The man still is able to stack. He's still a great route runner. As long as there's motion involved, Cooper Kupp can get open. He can create his own separation. He's still physical at 6'2", and however much he weighs. And he's a Dak-friendly receiver. Like, really, when you talk about Dak-friendly, yeah, Mike, I got your Cash App. I do appreciate you. Yes, I got your Cash App. I got Patrick's Cash App, and I got Mr. Brown's Cash App. I appreciate y'all for showing love to me early this morning, man. Does my heart good to get the support that I get from y'all, man. Y'all are able to keep me going. And listen, last year, in 12 games, he had 710 yards and 7 touchdowns. Right? So, if we go by the numbers, I mean, bro, I think he ran a 4.6 coming out. Keenan Allen ran a 4.7 young, and that boy that boy ran a 4.7 when he was young, and he still ended up being an 1,100-yard receiver. So as long as you get open, I'm not tripping. We got CeeDee Lamb for the explosive plays. We got Cavante Turpin as the gadget over-the-top guy. So I just need somebody to take pressure off of CeeDee Lamb. I need somebody that can win. A 5-yard completion on 3rd and 3 goes a long way. An 8-yard completion on 3rd and 5 goes a long way. As long as you can move the chains and get touchdowns and all this other stuff, I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping. So I'm not tripping on signing Cooper Kupp. As long as we actually sign him, I believe the Dallas Cowboys will find a way to utilize him. Because really, all you need is somebody that's better than Jalen Tolbert and can take some pressure off of CeeDee Lamb. Nah. We already know what Dak Prescott does. Like, we gotta be honest. I know you're an Eagles fan and you probably hate Dak Prescott's guts, but Dak Prescott has turned up with a lot of wide receivers. Dak Prescott took Randall Cobb when he was washed and got that man another contract. Dak Prescott went out there and hooped with what's the boy name? Cedric Wilson. We went out there and hooped with Cedric Wilson, got that man a contract. So, I ain't tripping. Y'all can believe what you want. That man go out that bitch and hoop. I mean, hey, Matthew Golden is not a guarantee. That's why you got to – that's really the reason why you got to add veteran players before you go into the draft. No, what if there's a run at wide receiver before we draft? And then we're left there holding our nuts. You know what I'm saying? What happens if we aren't able to draft these people that we want? You got to at least have something. I would rather have Kupp and Matthew Golden than not have either one. Because I can't go into the draft expecting to draft somebody and then they get drafted before I get a chance to get them. You know what I mean? You got to have contingency plans in place in case something happens. So he's saying that it's possible, and then he's reporting. And then the next thing he tweeted not long after that, and so overnight the Cowboys stuck a deal with former Eagles and Panthers running back Miles Sanders, and are working on one with former Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp. So they said they're working on a contract. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's just talking about they're negotiating and it's just about done, or they're just in the, or they're just in the conversation of, hey, we're reaching out. What do you want? Blase, blase, blase. You know what I mean? And listen, the Rams did get better. Like, they did swap out Cooper Kupp for Devontae Adams. But what I trip out on is Devontae Adams is also 32 years old. They put up similar numbers at this point in their careers. Like, he had 1,000 yards last year, but at the clip that Cooper Kupp was on, he also would have had 1,000 yards last year if he had played 17 games. Cooper Kupp is a free agent. Cooper Kupp is a free agent that is looking to sign with a suitor. And right now, Adam Schefter is reporting that he's talking to the Dallas Cowboys, or the Dallas Cowboys are talking to him. So I'm not sure what happens. I'm not sure if it actually has legs, but Cooper Kupp, Dallas Cowboys are in on Cooper Kupp, and they are deciding on if they're going to give him a contract at this point. All right, and the Athletic are reporting that the Seahawks and the Cowboys are the top candidates to receive Cooper Kupp's services. Now, Seattle might pay him more, right? But the truth is, there's a better chance of them to compete in Dallas. There's a better quarterback. He'll have a better running mate with CeeDee Lamb. The Dallas Cowboys probably play a better schedule. They're conducive to actually getting to the playoffs this year. And Cooper Kupp has family ties. If I'm not mistaken, his daddy and his granddaddy played for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, Cooper Kupp daddy was Troy Aikman backup at one point, and then his granddaddy was an offensive lineman in the early years of the Dallas Cowboys formation. So Cooper Kupp actually has ties to the Dallas Cowboys. Like, he's technically a legacy player for the Dallas Cowboys because his family played for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know how much weight that holds with Cooper Kupp, but I believe he still has family in this area. So we'll see. We will see. I don't want to talk about Seattle this morning. Man, listen. That is some crazy shit. I will not hold you. That is some crazy shit going on right now with the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, also, shout out to Jeff, man. I just seen that Jeff hit me with a Cash App too, man. Jeff, you a real one. Thank you for the love and support. I did not realize you had hit me with a Cash App, man. Thank you for showing love, man. Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to everybody that didn't hit the Cash App, man. Y'all extra trio. It said, if it ain't a Cowboys content creator reporting it, I'm not going to believe it. Listen, Dwayne Brown, if Adam Schefter says it's done and they sign the contract, that's when I believe it. And once they say the deal is done and the contract is signed, then I will go on air and let you know that it actually happened. But yeah, so they're in talks right now. But I am not the person to put all my eggs in one basket. Can't do it, won't do it. I believe in diversification of your stock portfolio. I don't want to be sitting in too strong of an asset hold. I'm not trying to have too much of one stock, right? So I'm not even sitting here saying my season depends on Cooper Kupp. He said Steelers offense this year is going to be like a Ferrari with no engine, without a quarterback. I really don't know why they just didn't sign Russell Wilson back, honestly, because Russell Wilson has a great relationship with DK Metcalf. He played well for the most part last year, and we know what he is, man. I know that he isn't the same quarterback that he used to be, but the man is still a quarterback that went to 2 Super Bowls. He still went to 2 Super Bowls. He still is a future Hall of Famer. He still can play at a Pro Bowl level. So I would have gave him another opportunity with better weapons. And then, if somebody you like failed to you, you could still draft them or something. You know what I mean? So he could at least still been a bridge quarterback for them folks. He said a Cowboys fan stopped me. He seen all my Eagles gear. He held that line up. Folks was pissed. We had fun though. Hey, good. Hey, friendly rivalry and friendly banter. You know, it's always good though, man. That what makes this shit. That what makes this shit fun, man. If we can't talk a little shit, you know, to our rivals, you know, it ain't worth it. He said when the cheese warm, man. That's extra old school. He said, he ain't got the legs like he used to, but he can still sling the ball. That's the last thing to go for the quarterback is the arm. You might lose your ability to move around and your mobility, but that arm is the last thing to go. He said Kupp does not move the needle, but this is the thing: does he make your team better? Does he elevate the other teams around there? Right? Does he make life easier for CeeDee Lamb? Is he a better option than Jalen Tolbert? Because listen, I'm not stopping at Cooper Kupp. You know what I'm saying? I'm not stopping at Cooper Kupp. If Ted McMillan falls, I'm drafting him too. If Burden is there, I'm drafting him too. You know what I mean? I'm not just stopping at Cooper Kupp. But I still need an obvious improvement to my wide receiver room going into the draft. Right? I still need an obvious improvement at wide receiver going into the draft. Because CeeDee Lamb got ran into the ground last year. Like my boy Landlord coined the phrase spam lamb. You know what I'm saying? But it comes a point in time where if you give him too many touches and he takes too much contact, you're not going to have Lamb either. Lamb did not – I know we don't like to think about this or talk about this, but CeeDee Lamb did not finish the season healthy. CeeDee Lamb did not finish the season healthy. CeeDee Lamb got hurt. That man's shoulder was falling off the bone. His shoulder was falling off the bone. CeeDee Lamb needs help. CeeDee Lamb came out and publicly said, I cannot do it alone. When CeeDee Lamb said that, do you think he, a wide receiver, was talking about anything else but a running mate? Do you think he was talking about anything else but another wide receiver to help take the pressure off of him? My boy said that we get Cooper Kupp, we going to the Super Bowl. He said, y'all need to build them trenches and then get some playmakers. But this is the thing. The Dallas Cowboys only have one bad offensive lineman, and that's Tyler Guyton. He got his ass whooped all year. But you go down the rest of the offensive line. Tyler Smith is an all-pro. Cooper Beebe is good. When you talk about when you talk about Brock Hoffman, I know people poo-poo at this shit, but in the 7 games that he started, Brock Hoffman was graded as a top 11 offensive guard. And then you already paid Terrence Steele. Like, Terrence Steele is horrible in pass pro, but he's one of the best run-blocking right tackles in the National Football League. Like, I can trust damn near everybody on that offensive line except for Tyler Guyton. And really, I don't know what I'm going to get from Tyler Guyton because we've seen left tackles make astronomical jumps in between year 1 and year 2. So I at least have to see what Tyler Guyton provides for me before I say that the offensive line is going to be an issue. Because remember, I know there's more context and more stuff to add to that. But just look at the raw numbers. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line finished second in pressure rate and sack rate. They had the second best one. They were top 7 in pass pro. They were top 7 in run blocking. What the Dallas Cowboys did not have was skill position players. What the Dallas Cowboys did not have was a good running back. Right? And think about it. Nobody thinks Rico Dowd is a good running back. But Rico Dowd ran for 1,000 yards behind this line. All I'm saying is give me a dynamic running back. Boy, Tyler Guyton was horrible, bro. Like, I did not want him on my team. But, you know, when you have athletes like that, you take the gamble. You take the gamble. And as quiet as kept, the weakest link on the Dallas Cowboys offensive line just retired. We love Zach Martin. We love what he did. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's going to get a gold jacket. He was not good last year. He really wasn't that damn good, the year before. But, he played well enough that his name propelled him to an All-Pro. It is what it is. That shit happens. But, yeah. So, we'll see. And listen, I'm not saying don't draft offensive line. I'm not saying don't draft defensive tackle. But my thing is, every pick on the Dallas Cowboys offensive line does not have to be a first-round pick. It does not have to be a first-round pick. Matter of fact, when the Dallas Cowboys built that great offensive line in the 90s, those guys weren't first-round picks. Larry Allen was not a first-round pick, right? Crazy to say out loud because he's considered one of the best to ever do it. He was not a first-round pick, right? When you talk about some of the other guys, there was a third-round pick on that offensive line. There was an undrafted guy on that offensive line. The Dallas Cowboys did not build, that offensive line with first-round picks. And I am not drafting Tyler Booker for the simple fact of this. Even when the Dallas Cowboys had good pass pro last year, which was a lot, Dak was still taking coverage sacks. If he has no place to go with the football, it really doesn't matter how much time he has to throw. When you got guys like Jalen Brooks that turn easy completions into picks going the other way, I don't want to hear about offensive line. You got wide receivers that can't even stay on their feet. You got wide receivers that can't catch. I don't care about, doing that. I don't care about how good your pass pro is if you can't throw the ball to anybody. If there's nobody to actually catch the damn passes. So I'm sorry. I just don't give a fuck. I do not give a damn. If you ain't got nobody to throw the ball to, why do I care that you got good pass pro? See, Wilmore just be in here typing anything. A quarterback that has top offenses, matter of fact, how many years in a row did the Dallas Cowboys have the number one offense? 3 or 4? And Dak Prescott was the quarterback? Yeah, we ain't got to lie. Just like y'all don't usually beat Dak Prescott. That doesn't win us championships, but it's also true. Y'all don't usually beat Dak Prescott. Y'all don't. It be Jalen Hurts, he gets spanked. It be your backups, they get spanked. It used to be Carson Wentz, he gets spanked. Everybody over there gets spanked. Dak Prescott whooping everybody on the roster. 9 times out of 10. Because y'all don't usually beat this man. He said Lamb and Kupp will feed families. Nah, see, I be forgetting that people just judge players off of team accomplishments and shit. I got empirical truth that Dak Prescott played well in the playoffs. He played well enough to be better than 2-5. It said, the city scared of the crazy fans. I see a fool walking down the street with a traffic. Oh, Lord. He had the same amount of playoff wins as Jaden Daniels. You're actually mistaken. You just see what I mean? Folks just type anything in the chat box. Okay. Put some money on that. Since y'all believe Dak Prescott is the worst quarterback in the NFC East, surely y'all can sweep him, right? Surely the Eagles will sweep the Dallas Cowboys this year with Dak Prescott playing, right? We could put a friendly wager on it. We could bet 100. The numbers don't lie. You brought up a team accomplishment to say that Dak Prescott sucks. But what you did not say, y'all don't use that for anybody else. You don't say that CeeDee Lamb is 2-5 in the playoffs. You don't say that Michael Parsons is 2-5 in the playoffs. Really, Michael Parsons is 1-5 in the playoffs or whatever. 1-4, whatever the hell it is. See, we only do that with quarterbacks when you need a team to win in the postseason. It just don't make sense. Dak Prescott has lost playoff games putting up these QBRs. That man lost a playoff game when he put up an 84 QBR. If you don't understand QBR, 50 is average, Anything in the 70 range is a Pro Bowl caliber performance. Anything in the 80 and up range is an All-Pro caliber performance. So Dak Prescott lost a game where he played like an All-Pro. He lost a playoff game where he played like a Pro Bowler. And he lost a playoff game where he played above average. Joe Burrow out this bitch winning playoff game where he was ass. This man dropped to 38.4 and won. Man dropped to 31.7 and won. Dropped a couple 60s and won. So that's all I'm saying. Like, we can kiki and cuckoo about playoffs, but end of the day, Dak Prescott played good in the postseason for the most part. You know, he had some stinkers, like the two at the bottom, but he also had some playoff games where he played great and they still lost. What do you mean? Dak Prescott was not on the field for 3rd and 20. Dak Prescott was not the one that gave up 300 yards rushing to the Rams. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say there's some games that he lost and he didn't play well in, which this accounts for. But you also can't say there were games that he did not play good and that they lost. Like, he also had games where he played well and they lost. Win-loss is a team accomplishment. It's not a stat. It's a record. It's a record. The Dallas Cowboys are 2-5 in Dak Prescott's era. The Dallas Cowboys are. What's up with you, John? How you living, boy? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the content, man. I mean, I just proved that to be a lie. I mean, if you can't read, that's on you. But we already showed you that that's not true, even in the slightest. But you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket for Cooper Kupp, though. Was my point. If the Dallas Cowboys are not able to strike a deal with Cooper Kupp, which one of these free agent wide receivers would you want the Dallas Cowboys to go out and sign? So Cooper Kupp, of course, is a person that we just talked about. But also on the open market right now is Stephon Diggs, who is coming off an ACL injury. Keenan Allen, who had over. Keenan Allen is not a bad wide receiver. It's just he has a very similar skill set. Right. He has a very similar skill set to Cooper Kupp. He's a route technician. He's not really a burner, but he wins with cunning, finesse, and good route running. So, you know, I can't be out here poo-pooing. You know, I can't be out here poo-pooing on, Keenan Allen, and I'm out here saying that Cooper Kupp would be a good signing. Amari Cooper, he has ties to the players here already. You know, he likes Dak and some of the guys here already. But, you know, the front office got rid of him for non-football reasons. So I don't know if there will ever be, I don't know if there will ever be a reunion because of that. I'm not really high on Tyler Lockett like that, and Deontay Johnson can stay the hell away from my team. But for y'all out there, for y'all people out there in the chat box, which one of these guys would you prefer? Which one would y'all prefer for the Dallas Cowboys to sign? And listen, we're gonna say that Kupp chooses somewhere else, so take Kupp off the board. If Cooper Kupp does not sign with the Dallas Cowboys as being reported, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett, or Deontay Johnson. Which one of those 5 wide receivers would you sign, not named Cooper Kupp? Put it in the chat box. I want to see. My boy Joe said that Stephon Diggs is the best option. Damian Crow says Diggs is the best option. Said 32 teams in the NFL. Most people believe Dak in a top 10 quarterback. The ones that's ahead of him, I bet only one won a Super Bowl, and that is Mahomes. Stop the Dak hate. If healthy, Diggs, in reality, Diggs, not going to lie. If he's healthy. And listen, I would prefer Cooper Kupp or Keenan Allen. Those are my top two picks. For Diggs, that's somebody that is somebody that needs a multi-year deal if he comes to Dallas. He needs a multi-year deal. Year one off of ACL, he's not going to be the same player. So Diggs is probably somebody you sign to a 3 or 4 year deal because you're not really gonna reap the benefits of Stephon Diggs year one. So he is somebody that I do not want to get as a rental. Because basically, if you get Diggs and it's only a year deal, you're basically bringing him in to rehab and play his way back into shape. That's basically all you're doing at that point. My boy said we already had locker room issues. I don't want Diggs. I think Diggs would be on better behavior around his little brother. I think he'll be on better behavior around his little brother. Hey, I tried, Kinfolk. Christian Kirk is not a bad option, but I also think Christian Kirk might have signed already. I think Christian Kirk went and got him a deal already, man. Yeah, Christian Kirk signed with the Texans, so he's been off the board for quite some time. Hey, man, I was up early. I had some stuff to do, so I had to talk about it. Listen. With the way the Dallas Cowboys has been moving, man, um, you can't take too much time to sleep, man. Like I was sleep last night and they signed a running back. If I came back home and got back in bed, they probably would have signed a wide receiver or something. So nah, man, I had to stay up for this. Besides, I still got a whole work day ahead of me. He said the Diggs brother gonna jump back. It's funny. They're not gonna cut Trayvon. And Zaytoven, I'm gonna tell you why they're not gonna cut Trayvon. Because logistically, it makes no sense. You do not have any wide receivers. You do not have any wide receivers under contract right now. DeRon Bland is in the final year of his contract. DeRon Bland will be an unrestricted free agent next year. Kalen Carson is ass. Right? Last time we seen him play anyway. He's still young. He's still developing. He's not good yet. You went and brought in Elam. He's not good yet. He still got to develop into being a better corner at this point. Right? You re-side Izzy. I don't even know if you're gonna let Izzy play corner. Like you moved Izzy to safety. So I don't know if you're even gonna give Izzy opportunity to play corner like that. So that's my thing. Your cornerback room is in shambles so much. That you cannot afford to get rid of Trayvon Diggs. You cannot afford to get rid of Trayvon Diggs. So nah, I think the Dallas Cowboys have to keep Trey. See what they got in him. You know, we'll figure it out. But I do not have a lot of time to stay on here. We've been on here for about 45 minutes, close to 45 minutes. I do have to take the kid to school and go to work myself. So I'm finna finish getting prepared. I just wanted to jump on here and give y'all my thoughts about what's going on, about the Miles Sanders acquisition. Nice little depth pickup, but it's not enough. I'm going to feel the same way about Cooper Kupp. It would be a great acquisition. Still will not be enough. Draft running back still. Draft wide receiver still. Make your team better. And, You got over $40 million in cap space still. You got about $46 million, Dallas Cowboys. Even after all of the moves you made, you have about $46 million of cap space. Sign more players and stop bullshitting. It's your